Speaking of SGA, man, since the MVP is all but over, and it's SGA, the face of the league. I kind of wanted to talk about the MVP like really quick before I open the phone lines up. I don't know if y'all ever seen my illustration on the MVP, right? But remember, the NBA named the MVP trophy after the GOAT, Michael Jordan. They named it after the GOAT. I wonder when they sat down in the NBA front office and figured out who they was going to name it after. They thought about what we want the MVP to mean. Who embodied the most valuable player in the NBA the most and the best? And they probably came up with Michael Jordan's name, right? He won the award a whole bunch of times, 6 times, right? So I kind of want to think about some of the things that Michael Jordan did in his MVP seasons. And I highlighted his first MVP in 87 and 88. And I want to show you what he did in 87 and 88. So you see in 87 and 88, I got it in red brackets down at the bottom. 87 and 88, he played all 82 games. So the first thing that's important to me for MVP is if we're going to use Michael Jordan's name on the trophy, I want to use Michael Jordan as a standard. And a guy that takes the game serious enough to not miss a game, that's my standard. So 82 games is the standard for me for MVP. So give a check in the box to anybody who's a candidate for MVP. I'm going to give a check in the box to the guy who gets as closest to 82 games as possible. We know you can't be the GOAT and play 82 games all the time. That's why he's the GOAT. But if you want to be an MVP and get the trophy with his name on it, how close to that standard can you get? So if a guy plays 80 games and another guy plays 65, I'm going to, and just in that category of games played, I'm going to give the check to the guy who played 80 games, right? Over the guy that played 65, right? So games played is important to me as well. Then you look, he averaged 35 points. Scoring the basketball for your team, as we see a difference in Tyrese Halliburton tonight, giving his team 17 points, but SGA, the MVP, giving his team 34 points. Scoring the basketball is very important. Fuck all that stat pad and assist stuff. I got a point guard for that in most cases, right? But if I'm the leader, if I'm the MVP, if I'm the team leader and the guy they're looking for buckets in crucial times, I got to make sure that this defense is scared shitless of me. I got to put that ball in the hole. 35 points a game is crazy for 82 games, right? So scoring is very important to me. The person who's scoring the most points, I'm probably going to get, you're getting closer to the standard for the MVP candidates, right? Right. So if you see that green circle right there in 87, 88, he also won Defensive Player of the Year that year. So he was a lockdown defender. And by the award that he got, the voters are saying that he was the best defender that year. So for Michael Jordan, 82 games, scoring relentlessly and defending the exact same way relentlessly. So not only do you have to play all the games and you have to be a dominant scorer, I want you to be a great, elite, dominant defender. Do you have to get Defensive Player of the Year? Heavens no. Most times you can't. You're not the GOAT. How many people can play 82 games, lead the league in scoring, and get Defensive Player of the Year? That's not an easy thing to get. So I'm not expecting you to be the GOAT and get DPOY, but the candidate that's closest to it will have more consideration, right? Then you look down the list under defensive play. He was the scoring leader that year, the steals leader, NBA All First Team, NBA All Defensive First Team, and then he won the MVP, right? So I take all of those things scoring, defending, games played. Oh, and they won 50 plus games that year. So the player or the candidate with the most wins will be in heavy consideration as well. MJ didn't have the most wins this season though. I think he might have been third in the East and probably fifth overall in this when you include East and West, right? But under no circumstances will I be going to the 6th seed looking for my MVP candidate, right? So winning is the most important thing. Playing all your games, defending at elite level, scoring at elite level, those 4 things, right? So when you take the MVP candidates for this year, the guys who are scoring and defending at elite level, I call those guys fully qualified to be considered for the award. If you're a one-way player and you don't have a elite impact offensively and defensively for your team, then you could still be a candidate if you have some other spectacular thing going on, like when Westbrook was a candidate because he was averaging a triple-double, or Jokic being a candidate because he averaged a triple-double. That happens. If someone feels like you're on a historic season, they'll overlook things that make you fully qualified, like defense. They'll overlook defense. They even overlook your team record because Westbrook was in the 6th seed when he got his MVP. They overlooked that, right? So you got to be on some type of historic heater like Jokic was this year. But Jokic was not fully qualified. He's not a player that's elite on both ends of the floor. SGA was. So I gave SGA a green highlight by fully qualified. If you look and see Giannis, he was also fully qualified. Jason Tatum was also fully qualified. Jokic and Mitchell were not. And if Luka would have been on this list, Luka would not be fully qualified for the award. So how does a not fully qualified candidate beat a fully qualified candidate? It's got to be a lot of things that go in place. Like this, if you're not fully qualified for the award by Michael Jeffrey Jordan standards, you gotta be number 1 record in the league. You gotta have a historic and can we stop saying that averaging a triple-double is historic? Oscar did it already. It was historic when Oscar did it. It wasn't historic when Westbrook did it. And it's not historic when Jokic did it. Historic means, oh, we've never seen this before, and someone did this. Now he just made history. How the hell did Westbrook make history by doing it after Oscar? And how did Jokic make? They did some verbal judo to try to make Jokic make history and say, oh, not the first person to average a triple-double, but the first center to average it. What does that got to do with the MVP award? Give him Offensive Player of the Year or something. But you got to be fully qualified. You got to play both ends to get the MVP. But Offensive Player of the Year, give it to him. Give it to whoever can get a triple-double. That's a throwaway award. Offensive Player of the Year, cool. You got it, Jokic, every year. That's like scoring title. The scoring title, okay, cool. You scored the most points, got it. You got the scoring title. That's what Offensive Player of the Year award is. But MVP is a more serious award that's going to take winning and defending and scoring and all of that stuff way beyond just, oh man, he almost made history. He made fake history. And no. So fully qualified. SGA was fully qualified. Games played out of all the candidates. SGA played 76. Jokic played 70. Giannis played 67. Tatum played 72. Mitchell played 71. Nobody played more games that was a candidate than SGA. He played 76 games. That's closest to the standard of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The award is named after Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He's getting closer to the standard. He's elite on both sides of the floor, and he played the most games, the closest to 82 games. Right? Then you get to the offensive value. Does he have offensive value? Yes. Every candidate had offensive value. I gave a green check to Jokic because he had the most offensive value out of all the candidates because he scored at a high clip and assisted at a high clip, right? Most of the time, the player that has the most offensive value would be my leading candidate for Offensive Player of the Year, which if I ever get a chance to talk to somebody important in the NBA front office, I would tell them to avoid confusion about the MVP, you need to create the Offensive Player of the Year award so we can give it to play. We can award players who play only offense, right? So I gave Jokic the check for offensive value. SGA has a check for being fully qualified. He's the most qualified candidate. And then as far as the games played, he's the most qualified candidate. Jokic is the most qualified candidate for offensive value. SGA is second, right? Then we get the team success, right? On offense. The Cavs and Donovan Mitchell had the number 1 rated offense. I gave the check to Mitchell. The Boston Celtics and Jason Tatum was number 2. SGA was number 3, right? So we got SGA 1, the top fully qualified player, most qualified in games played. He's number 2 in offensive value. Number 3, as far as what his offensive value led his team to as far as success, which was the number 3 rated offense. Defensive value. I think Giannis gets the nod for that. There's no one who has more defensive value on his team than Giannis. I think Tatum was number 2. I gave SGA number 3. Jokic gets a no because he has no offensive or no defensive value for his team. He's actually hurting his team. Mitchell has no defensive value for his team either, right? But SGA still top 3 in every category so far. And number 1 and 2 of them, number 2 and 1, number 3 and 2 of them, right? As far as team success, what SGA contributes helped lead his team to the number 1 rated defense in the league. Jokic's team was number 8. Giannis' team was number 11. So as important as Giannis is to his team, the best he could help his team to get to is a number 11 rated defense, right? Boston number 3. And as bad as Mitchell is, I ain't gonna say he was bad, but as average he is as a defender, at least he didn't hurt his team to where they're outside of the top 10 in defensive rating. They were number 2 behind OKC. And then games won, because that was the most important thing, is winning. All right. Obviously 68 wins is number 1, which is what SGA contributed by being a fully qualified player who's elite on both ends, who didn't hurt his team by missing a bunch of ball games, who gave offensive value and defensive value, led his team to a number 3 offensive rating, a number 1 defensive rating, and a number 1 record in the league at 68 games. That makes SGA the most qualified person, the closest things to the standard of Michael Jeffrey Jordan trophy, a fully qualified individual who's more deserving of the MVP award than any other candidate. And this is how it should be done. That is how it should be done. And now I will go ahead and open the phone lines up, because I want to hear y'all thoughts on that. Phone lines is open. The phone number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. We'll take phone calls for about 10 minutes, and then we'll end the show. Let's see what y'all saying in the comments, though. Yeah, thanks, hit them. Yeah, let's get the likes up, y'all. We should have at least 115 likes. T-Burt, what's good, brother? Tell Dom I said what up next time you talk to her. I think that's a great chart, and I agree 100%. Call in, T-Burt. Let's see. Let everybody hear your good basketball brain. I don't understand why people don't have a criteria. Like, people getting votes for MVP, and these people absolutely have no blueprint on how to vote. Right? It's almost like they want the drama and the chaos, but like you got to give them some type of blueprint. Some type of blueprint. Hey, Mel, don't get my girl Bay entangled in this LeBron, Diddy, Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, women haters, Nicki fans more like them. Bay got a house full of children now who want to be stars. Interesting. Are you part of the Bay Hive? Let's see if I can.
What up, man?
T-Bird, what's good, brother, man? How you doing, man? What's your thoughts on everything?
I love it. Like you express my sentiments when I be arguing, with the LeBron Beehive and everybody else, and people saying Joker is the best and everything. And you actually just put up everything I've been arguing with all these people for the last year. And exactly, that's what the NBA is. Only thing they care about is offense. And they think, I'm a Joker fan. Let's not get it twisted. I do think offensively, he's an all-time great player, but putting him over all the great elite centers that play both ways, no, I don't have Joker right now in my top probably 4 or 5 centers because yeah, he's 100 on offense, but he's a 0 on defense. So how can just think about it. Like you take somebody I'm not a fan of, like David Robinson, right? I ain't never like his heart, but David Robinson was, let's say, 89 on offense and 89 on defense. How do I put Joker over that when Joker's 100 on offense and is 0 on defense? Like the math not mathing. So
the math is definitely not mathing unless you disregard defense.
Yeah, and that's what the NBA wanted to do. If you look back in the 90s, yeah, there were some foreign players. It wasn't a huge outbreak of foreign players like it is now. If you look at all the MVPs, they're all foreign over the last 5 years, which is fine. I had a problem with foreigners getting MVP. But you got to look at what they did to allow all of these foreigners to come in and play. They had to get rid of the physicality, get rid of the defense, right? And that was the only way you could put the foreigners on the same playing field athletically as, the black players, because they were athletically dominant and physical. The foreigners couldn't compete. So you take away the physicality, right? You take away the defense, you make it open, the floor open, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not allowed to play D. So all they do is put one hand in the air. And now the foreigners can come over here and shine. So basically, getting back to your chart, I love it. The only thing, I'm not a big Tatum fan. Like, I don't have a problem with him, but I'm not in love with him either. I think SGA is a better defender than Tatum because SGA will be up there and win steals, but Tatum will be up there in rebounds, but Tatum is 6'10". Mm-hmm. So defensively, I like SGA better than Tatum because SGA gives it his all just about every game. Tatum gives it all on rebounds. So you could say Tatum might be like a zone type of scheme type of defender where SGA can play zone and man and do okay. And SGA is only 6'4". You see what I'm saying?
So on my chart, you would have had Giannis. You agree with Giannis being the number one as far as defensive value for his team, and
by far.
Okay, and I had Tatum 2. You would switch it and have SGA 2 and Tatum 3.
Yes, I would have SGA 2 and Tatum 3, only because Tatum he's not a super great one-on-one defender, where SGA actually slides his feet way better left and right than Tatum does. But where Tatum excels over SGA is the rebounds, but yeah. He's 6'10". You know what I mean?
You know what? Maybe. So the job that Boston and Tatum and Brown and everyone did on Kyrie and KD with Brooklyn in that sweep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people got impressed by Tatum's defense then, and maybe it ain't on par with that no more. I mean, it was pretty good last year in the finals and in that playoff run.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't mind. I mean, that'll just make it more overwhelming for SGA.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, but I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Like you got Tatum over SGA. I think it's SGA over Tatum by a little bit. So I'm not gonna say you're wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But no, this chart up here is absolutely, it embodies everything that I believe in wholeheartedly. And this is the reason why the NBA is trash. Like if you look at LeBron, right? You look at LeBron, right? Everybody know I'm not a LeBron fan, right?
Right.
But this dude actually said, yo, the last month of the season, we need to figure out, like for the last month, how to adjust to the physicality in the referee's whistle. So LeBron is okay with not playing regular basketball for the whole season until the last 30 days of the season. So he don't want to play no defense, no physicality, no effort until the last 30 days. What are we watching here, bro?
Well, you know what?
What are we talking about?
LeBron running out of stuff to talk about, and he found his niche with saying one thing and putting it out there in the atmosphere, and then Gil's Arena, and then all these other, like Draymond Green's podcast, like all these other podcasts is below him, or kind of say the same talking points, because Gil's Arena talked about that same thing after LeBron said it. And I'm like, man, this is insane, and it's like an echo chamber that he starts, but he's been doing it for years, but not just with podcasts. It'll be him or Clutch Sports saying something, and then now it's getting repeated all over the place. Like it's very, I guess it feels very powerful for him to be able to just say one thing or one idea, and now it becomes like concrete, and it becomes cliche amongst the basketball community. Like he just throwing stuff out there, man. Like it don't even make sense to complain about something on your way out. You got 2 years tops left in the league, and you complaining about physicality in the playoffs, and you need a month to rev up for it. Man, why even say that publicly?
Mel, that's unheard of. He's actually saying with all the true fans have really been complaining about. He just admitted. You see what I'm saying? And one more thing, if you pull your other chart up, the Michael Jordan chart with all his stuff on there, only thing you need to add to that, John, is because your chart is 1,000,000% perfect. You can add one thing. Michael Jordan is the all-time leader in blocks for a guard in history.
Yeah. Well, I think he might be second now. I think D Wade passed him.
I don't think D Wade got him. We gotta look that up.
Yeah. You know what, T-Bird? I looked it up, and I lied to you not. I looked it up at 2 different places, and one has Wade under Mike, and one has Wade above Mike. So I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't know what to believe.
Well, I'm going with stuck in my head. Mike won. If it's a tie go to Mike every time. I'm biased. It is what it is, man. Yeah. But, you actually, let me give you some flowers. You took your time and you put all this stuff together, and this shows how much you really care about, wanting the NBA to go back to what it's supposed to be. And I love the fact that you said about they should give a scoring title, whoever is the best offensive player, because then you don't get it confused with who's the MVP, because the scoring leader can be completely different than the MVP. One doesn't have to be synonymous with the other, right?
Yeah. Well, not the scoring leader, the offensive player of the year.
Okay, yeah, offensive player of the year, exactly, and especially the way that they do the MVP. See, back in the '90s, like early '90s, well, the whole Jordan era, if you led the league in scoring, you was pretty much guaranteed to get the MVP. And then they got voter fatigue with Jordan, and they stopped giving it to him, right? Mm-hmm. So since they changed the criteria so much, I think they should give that award. And I'm gonna tell you who that award should be named after. should be named after Kobe Bean Bryant. Fire.
I like
Fire.
it. No, I like it for sure. I like it.
Because the MVP is the best award, and the second best award would be the Kobe Bryant Award. And in my opinion, it goes with every fiber in my body. I think Mike's number one in history. I think Kobe's number two. Give Kobe that award.
Hey, T-Bird, we gotta clip this and send it to the NBA front office some type of way. For real, they need to hear that, man. For real, sheesh. Yeah.
I mean, you figure, Mel, on the phone now, me and you, we're not casuals, in my opinion. I think we're too knowledgeable, and we go back in history too far, and we care too much, right? And we keep a mental library on the NBA. So I look at people like me, you, and Dom, like we're really historians of the game. We're just young historians, right?
Yeah.
So like that award that you brought up and then put Kobe name on it, I think that's goated.
No, I agree 100%. I agree 100%, man. Appreciate the call, T-Bird, man. I'm gonna get maybe two more calls in here, then I'm gonna end it, man. Thanks for the call, though.
Thanks for your time, man.
No problem. Yep.
All right.
That's a daggone good call, y'all. That's a good call. Can we get two more good calls like that? Can we get two more good calls? Harmich said, oh, wow, Mel is right. Different sources have different most blocks for guards. Yeah, that's crazy, Andy. Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, I knew Michael Jordan had it. And then I remember one year it got announced that Wade passed Jordan. And then I looked it up, and it still had Jordan over Wade. And then I was saying that Jordan was number one, and then somebody corrected me, and I went and looked at another source, and they had Wade number one. So I got confused. So I was like, man, I don't know what's right, but I don't know how they got that mixed up, but but nonetheless, Michael Jordan blocked a lot of shots for 6'6" guards, and we was able to see it on the floor how he got some of his blocks. He was a good weak side helper at the rim, and he also kind of highlight OKC Thunder now. When you think you got a wide open lane, but their guards collapse and they got quick hands and they swiping down at the ball. Well, Michael Jordan did that for post players when they think they, did a good move on his center and they think they got a clean shot. Michael Jordan's coming from the backside and he's blocking it from the back. Pause, but he was really good at that. And contesting jump shots and stuff like that. He got blocks a lot of different ways. I mean, you don't lead the entire NBA for a career for guards and blocks without being able to do it multiple ways. Like he blocked shots, and so did Wade. You know what I mean? So that's a big deal, especially when you include how many steals he's gotten, steal champions, and the dude was very deserving of the Defensive Player of the Year award he got. I do know that Hakeem was a monster that season as well. But the voters voted the way they voted. Smooth Criminal said 893 for MJ, 885 for Wade. And what source is that? What source is that? Because I do also remember Wade bragging on his podcast about passing Mike. Like he mentioned it on his podcast. Yeah. Nolan, boy, what's good, bro? All right, so we didn't get no more phone calls. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna end it, man. I hope y'all got something out of that MVP illustration, man. I think it's pretty rock solid, especially if you go name the award after Mike. Like if you name the award after Mike, it gotta mean more than just it's Mike. Like it's gotta mean something. Like when a player wins the Michael Jordan Award, they should have taken a lot of pride in a lot of things that Michael Jordan, left blood, sweat, and tears out on the court for. Like the way Michael Jordan thought about playing 82 games. The way he thought about competing on both ends of the floor, playing defense, the way he thought about being a relentless scorer, all of those things of that nature, the way he led his teams to a great amount of wins. I mean, they had to the wins record until the Warriors broke it. They won 72 games, or 72, and then I think the Warriors won 73. So they won 72 games. They won 70 the next year. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like SGA just won 68 games. Very close. Very close to getting 70 games. Like, that's a big deal. Number one in the West, number one in the entire league. Number one defense in the entire league. Contributed greatly by that MVP player in SGA. Like, very interesting on both ends of the floor. The defensive end was just as important as the offensive end. I mean, there's nobody that gets as closest to MJ as to meeting what that award should mean and what Michael Jordan meant and what basketball meant, on how he approached it. So I think all that is important, man. Somebody need to sit down and like talk about that to these players and to the voters as well, and to the analysts that talk about these awards on ESPN and Fox and all this stuff. Like, they should be talking about it in the right way. I don't want to hear next year someone talking about a triple-double for a player who got 18 less wins than the guy who don't got the triple-double. The formula for winning, scoring relentlessly and defending at an elite level, got 68 wins, but playing triple-double basketball got 50 wins. And we're vouching and advocating for the triple-double style of play over the elite defense, elite scoring. Like, the formula that SGA was following got him the scoring title, got him the number 3 offense in the league, the number 1 defense in the league, 68 wins. Helped propel his co-star to his first All-Star appearance. Helped propel 2 of his teammates to an all-defensive team. I'm pretty sure he was very close to making the defensive team himself. Executive of the year, coach of the year. Like, look at all the success. These people wasn't getting all these accolades and awards because they're so great. The results is what yielded those accolades and awards to be given. Because if they didn't get 68 wins, I don't care what SGA did. Williams not making the All-Star. Nobody else is making defensive teams. The coach ain't getting coach of the year, and the executive ain't getting recognized for what he did. So it's not that they're so great, and the reason why they got 68 wins is because it was greatness around everywhere. No, they worked so hard to produce greatness that you have to reward it. So when people say Jokic have never played with another All-Star, that's an indictment on Jokic. Why isn't what you're doing showing how great these other people are putting in work? Because I know they putting in work. Like, why is it that everyone that plays triple-double basketball, the only thing it produces is awards for that one person, but it actually makes everyone else look worse? Like, coaches get fired behind triple-double basketball. Like, Malone's out of there. He's gone. Nobody has made All-Star beside Jokic. Everyone gets nothing but negative talk about them. Jamal Murray is inconsistent. Michael Porter Jr. is inconsistent. Aaron Gordon is inconsistent. Westbrook is inconsistent. Like, how could it be that every one of his co-stars is inconsistent? And then you don't start to second guess the system itself. You mean to tell me everyone that comes into this offense is inconsistent? No, this must be studied. Like, you have to tell me why everyone is inconsistent. You get what I'm saying? And then you have to also tell me everyone that has a co-star has an inconsistent co-star. Like, nobody's co-star is like, when you're the guy like Jokic, SGA, Tatum, Luka, KD, when you're Steph, when you're those guys, you have to be consistent. Like, because we can't go nowhere without your 25 points that we rely on. Like, we need your 25 points every single night. That's why they get paid the big bucks. But your co-star, the reason why they don't have their own team is because they can get 25 just like you can, but they can't get 25 for 82 straight games. They can't do that. They're not that consistent. That's why they are a co-star. If it wasn't for that, they would have their own squad. Everybody can't come out and do what Iverson did every single night. Like, imagine being 5'11", listed at 6'2" or 6'1", and you got to go in here in one of the most physical areas of NBA basketball and average 30 points a night, and you get into the cup and going to the hole more than some of these big guys is. Right? That takes a different mentality, a different type of dude, a different type of scoring package for him to consistently get you 30. Right? But you don't ask that from your co-star. You don't ask Scottie Pippen to consistently give you 30. You ask Michael Jordan to consistently give you 30. Scottie Pippen can give you 30 one night and give you 8 the next night. So even the best co-star in Scottie Pippen was inconsistent. If you look at SGA, the other MVP candidate that y'all say don't deserve the award, and I'm talking to Jokic fans, if you look at Jalen Williams, he is not considered. You can just look at this playoff run here. Chet Holmgren or Jalen Williams haven't been consistent. The only person that's been consistent is SGA, except for that one game in Minnesota when they got beat by 40. And I think he ended up with only, 13, 14, 15 points. Other than that, the 25 points that he owes OKC every night, he's been giving it. Right? So your co-star is allowed to be inconsistent. Your star can't have many nights where he don't give you what he's supposed to give you. So you can't say Jamal Murray is inconsistent and say that's the reason why Jokic deserves the MVP when you're not even looking at or dissecting everyone else's co-star and noticing that they're inconsistent as well. There's no consistent co-star out there. Jimmy Butler didn't even give the Warriors and Golden State and Steph Curry what he was supposed to be getting. He was inconsistent. He was inconsistent as a number one, as a star, as the guy in Miami. He was inconsistent. They call him Playoff Jimmy because he don't show up into the playoffs. Imagine that. Imagine being a number one and being inconsistent. But here it is, we complaining about Jokic supposed to be the best player in the league, but we're complaining that his co-star is inconsistent. And Miami got a whole star that's their number one is inconsistent. And let's not talk about Bam, who was supposed to be his co-star, very inconsistent. Tyler Hero, very inconsistent. Jalen Green and Houston. Alfred Sengun is the only all-star on that team. So he's the number one. Jalen Green's the number two. Very inconsistent. Julius Randle for Minnesota, for Edwards. Very inconsistent. I mean, we can go on and on. Well, who else was a contender? Indiana. Their star and their co-star, Siakam and Halliburton, inconsistent. Go to New York with Jalen Brunson. Who's his guy? Towns, inconsistent. Ja Morant's co-star is Jaren Jackson Jr., inconsistent. Right, so don't let these Jokic fans get away with saying he deserves the MVP because Jamal Murray is inconsistent and lie to you, because he ain't never played with an all-star. That's his fault. That an all-star level player, he's got 2 all-star level players on his team, Murray and Gordon. And Michael Porter Jr. is more talented than both of them, except he's just out there with a fused back and probably is more stiff than anybody and takes more work to get loose for a game. He probably, he done has 2 or 3 surgeries on his back already. That's a big deal. Right? This dude is more talented than all of them. So he's a talent on the level of a Ben Caro, but the back injury might be holding him back more than we think. And then the offense that they play in is he's not even the number 3. Aaron Gordon is. He's like the number 4. Only thing he's asked to do is shoot threes. And he's giving you 17, 18 points. And they complaining about that. I'm like, dang, Michael Jordan only got 18 points from Pippen and was winning with that. Pippen was his number 2 and got 18 points. Jokic is getting 18 points from his number 4. And people complaining. Like, you know what I mean? So, Jokic got it good. He got 2 all-star level players that has never made all-star. That's an indictment on Jokic in Denver. Why are we getting more of Jokic and less of his co-stars if you want your co-stars to help you? You got to give something up. What are you willing to give up? Where's the sacrifice for Jokic? Because it looks like Jokic is getting to do everything that's in his wheelhouse and capability on offense. Like, imagine walking into the facility and saying, hey, I can pass, I can score, I can post up, I can handle the ball, I can run the offense, I can shoot threes, I can do all of those things. And your coach saying, okay, well, that's everything on offense, but we're going to let you do all of those things primarily. And then the co-star is like, wait. Well, I'm good at passing and I'm good at running the offense and I'm good at scoring. Like, what am I going to do? Nothing. He's going to do all of it. And when he goes sit down, you can do it. Or when he get fat and tired after running up the court 5 or 6 times, then we can let you run high screen and roll with him. Nobody else. You got to run your screen and roll with Jokic. So Murray is like, dang, I've been a point guard my whole life. And I show up to a team and I'm very capable of running this offense and being a point guard. And they're telling me, yeah, but we want the big fella to do it. Okay, well, if he's going to run point and get all the assists, I guess I'm the primary scorer. No. He's the primary scorer too. So he's the quarterback that's throwing the pass and catching the passes. He's the quarterback and the receiver. Or better yet, he's the quarterback running read option who has a running back that's very capable. Let's say is Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. And Jalen Hurts tells Saquon, I know you a really good running back, but I am too. So I'm going to pass the ball, and I just need you to block for me, right? I'm gonna run most of the run plays as well. But when I get tired, I hand you the ball. I give you the ball, and when I give it to you, you got to make something happen. Like when I give you the ball, like I'm gonna tuck the ball and run it probably 25 times a game, which is how much times your running back should be getting the ball, 20 to 25 times. 18 of them can be straight carries and maybe a couple of, 5 or 6 passes out of the backfield. He can get out of the backfield as a receiver. But your running back, when you got a good one, even if you don't have a good one, whoever your running back is need to be consistently touching the ball to keep the defense honest. Because if they know it's a pass every time and you really go give him the ball, oh man, we're good. We'll drop most of our people in coverage and we'll rush 4. And we'll get to the quarterback that way. It's going to be a pass every time. Right? So you have to mix up. So your running back should be getting the ball about 25 times a game. Imagine if Jalen Hurts told Saquon Barkley, I'm going to run it 25 times a game. Right? But every now and then I give it to you. So you'll probably get it 8 times a game. Right? So you got a running back that gets the ball 8 times a game. And then when you lose, all the Philadelphia fans say Saquon is not consistent because one game he have 100 yards because like Saquon is a home run hitter. So imagine if you get the ball 8 times a game and one game you break 2 40-yard runs for touchdowns. You end up with 2 touchdowns, 80 yards. And then you might get the ball 3 or 4 more times and pick up, 5 or 6 yards here and there. So let's say you end up with 95 yards and 2 touchdowns off 8 touches. But then the next game you get 8 touches and you only get 40 yards. And then Philly saying, see, it's Saquon's fault. He's inconsistent. But you're only giving him 8 carries. But when you look at Jalen Hurts stat, he's getting 25 carries. So his stats look like 25 carries, 75 yards, a touchdown, and then 30 passes for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. So you throw for 4 touchdowns and you run 1 and you got almost 100 rushing yards and almost 300 passing yards when you look at that statistically, you're like, man, this is the greatest quarterback ever. He's a running back and a freaking quarterback. That's what it is with Jokic. He's a point guard and a dominant post center. He's doing both. He's the read option quarterback. He's doing both. But when they don't win, he gets to look at the real running back and or the real point guard and Jamal Murray and say, see, you didn't do enough. Look at your stats. But he got very little opportunity to do anything. Sometimes you can get hot and get on the heater, and with that minimum opportunity you give me, I can still make stuff happen. Same thing with Gordon and Porter Jr. They got like they're all playing inside of a phone booth. If you look at basketball like a parking lot, Jokic has the whole parking lot to his disposal, and for his freedom, he can access the entire parking lot. But he tells his role players that they have to be inside of a phone booth, and that's how you got to get your points. So I can do everything, right? Or on the chessboard, I'm the queen. I can move diagonal, backwards, forward. I can go any type of way I want to as the queen, but my pawns can only move one step at a time forward. They can't go back. Like that, you give them a restricted role of catch the ball and shoot the three whenever you catch it. Michael Porter Jr., catch and shoot. Aaron Gordon, catch lobs and then shoot threes. Jamal Murray, run screen and roll with Jokic and get all your points. And that's it. So your role players are in the phone booth, but your best player got the entire world at his disposal. Same thing, read option quarterback. You never give your running back the ball, but you want him to produce stats. It's the dumbest thing in the world. And you wonder why, like, how would your running back, they'd be like, oh man, he never played with a Pro Bowl running back. You're not giving him the ball. You have to have the ball to make some type of noise. So how am I gonna make all-star if my big man, if my center wants all the assists? Don't you know point guards is supposed to be in control of running the offense and dictating flow of the game and getting guys involved and racking up the assist numbers and making sure the offense is running smoothly. Like that's the point guard's job, and you telling your point guard he can't do it unless Jokic is tired. It's insane. It's insane, man. But I'm off my soapbox, man.